It's another amazing day, and Alhamdulillah, for Allah has granted us this amazing day. I hope you've had a blessed day, an amazing day, because mine was so awesome. Alhamdulillah. We've been talking about a series of things: how to make your goals, how to achieve your targets, how to create your own to-do list, and other amazing things. Today, I want us to discuss something that involves all of us, something called peer pressure. Do you know what peer pressure is? Yeah, we're talking about peer pressure. And peer pressure is the act of succumbing to the demands of your environment, or giving in to the demands of your environment. For me, that is how I'll define peer pressure. It is giving in to the demands of your environment. When your friends are out there, they want to go for party, and you are this reserved person, you don't go for parties, but because your friends are insisting that you go with them to the party, here we go. You succumb to the pressure and you go to the party because your friends are doing 1, 2, 3 things. You also want to do what you also want to do it. So for me, that is peer pressure. And peer pressure is divided into, maybe I can say, 3 major parts, which is the verbal and non-verbal, direct and indirect, and positive and negative peer pressure. Let's begin with the verbal and non-verbal peer pressure. The verbal and non-verbal peer pressure, we all know about the verbal and non-verbal cues. Verbal is when I come to you directly and I tell you, Halati Mariam, I want us to go out. But the non-verbal one is when I'm using the people around you to ensure that you go out. That is, I ensure everybody around you is going out. And so, because you'll feel left out, you also want to join us and come out with us. So that is the non-verbal one. The verbal one is when I come directly to you and tell you, hey, Halati Mariam, you know what? We're going out and I want you to come with us. And simply because you're my friend, or you're my relatives, or you're my neighbor, I cannot say no to you because every other person is going out with you. That is the verbal peer pressure. And the non-verbal peer pressure is when I'm using the people around you, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, to ensure that you succumb into what I want you to do. So that is peer pressure. That is the non-verbal and verbal peer pressure. That is one type of peer pressure. And these peer pressures, they can be either positive or negative. So the other type of peer pressure is the positive or the negative peer pressure. Now, before we discuss the positive and the negative peer pressure and how it is affecting us, let's go and listen to the Quran with Nadir and Shahida. We always say Nadir and Shahida are 2 amazing kids who sacrifice their time to teach us the Quran. Imagine being such an amazing kids, sacrificing your time to teach other people the Quran. And I can say Nadir and Shahida have a positive influence to us because they encourage us to read the Quran. Let's go and enjoy the Quran segment with Nadir and Shahida. Bismillah.
Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah.
Quran with Nadir and Shahida.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
وقال الإنسان ما لها
وقال الإنسان ما لها
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
بأن ربك أوحى لها
بأن ربك أوحى لها
يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره
ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره.
Translation of this beautiful surah.
Surah Al-Zalzalah. In the name of Allah, the All-Beneficent, the All-Merciful. When the earth is rocked with a terrible quake, and the earth discharges her burdens, and man says, "What is the matter with her?" On that day she will relate her chronicles, for her Lord will have inspired her. On that day mankind will issue forth in various groups, to be shown their deeds. So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it.
Now repeat and memorize.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
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 إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
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 وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
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 وقال الإنسان ما لها
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 يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
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 بأن ربك أوحى لها
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 يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
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 فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
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 ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا 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 يره
Let's recite it one more time.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها
وقال الإنسان ما لها
وقال الإنسان ما لها
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها
بأن ربك أوحى لها
بأن ربك أوحى لها
يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره
ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره
ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره
صدق الله العلي العظيم.
The Quran segment with Nadir and Shahida. I love the Quran segment. I enjoy the Quran segment. It's an amazing segment. I get to learn the Quran. I get to learn its translation, and also I get to memorize some few ayahs from each and every surah we learn each and every day. And by the end of the week, I find that I've memorized up to 10 or 15 ayahs, which is something very, very nice. I hope you at home also have a target of memorizing at least 3 to 4 ayahs a day. It will really, really help you, especially if you're going to madrasa. You memorize some few ayahs from Nadir and Shahida. You go to madrasa, you memorize some few ayahs from your ustad. When you go home, you ask your brother or your sisters to listen to what you are reciting and correct you where you've gone wrong. That is something so, so nice. Today we're discussing about peer pressure. We've already discussed about the verbal and the non-verbal peer pressure. I want us to discuss about the negative and the positive peer pressure. The negative peer pressure is the peer pressure that leads you towards the wrong direction. And the positive peer pressure is the peer pressure that leads you towards the positive direction. So, the negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressures, you get this peer pressure from your friends, and the peer pressure that you get, it's not on a positive note. You're pressured to go out, you're pressured not to do your homework, you're pressured to disrespect people, you're pressured to do a lot of negative things around you, and you'll be having a lot of negative energy around you. When you come to the positive peer pressure, in positive peer pressure, you're encouraged to do your homework by your friends, you're encouraged to respect your parents, you're encouraged to dress well, you're encouraged to respect people around you, your elders, the young ones, and always obey them. And you're also encouraged, or you're pressured to be a disciplined kid. So let's do this. Let's not focus to what? To the negative peer pressure. Let's surround ourselves with people who will give us positive vibes, people who will influence us in a positive manner. Another type of peer pressure is the direct and the indirect peer pressure. But before we discuss that, let's go and enjoy one nasheed. Bismillah.
Rawda Kids. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Tunataka kujua hizo ndoto zenu, jueni kufanya kazi jambo muhimu, ila cha muhimu sana kuchunga zenu, kazi ziwe za halali sio haramu.
Usijali mwalimu, tumekufahamu, ndoto zetu sote ni za muhimu.
Haya wanafunzi, nataka kujua.
Mwalimu kipenzi, tutakutajia ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Napenda kuwa mwalimu, nielimishe kaumu, na wawe na elimu na waweze kujikimu. Elimu zote muhimu jamii walifahamu, nitalipwa na karimu sio na binadamu. Na subira mwalimu, na busara mwalimu, la 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 la. Sina hasira mwalimu, wakinikera mwalimu, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Namuomba Jabbar ndoto kutimia, mimi niwe daktari, watu kutibia maradhi ya hatari, nitasaidia kama moyo, kisukari na mengine pia. Nitajitahidi niwahudumie, biidhnillahi watapona. Nitapowakosea wanivumilie, peke yake Allah ndo mpona. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Nataka nchi yangu kuisaidia, nataka nchi yangu kuipigania, nataka niwe jeshi nilinde raia. Hizo ni ndoto zangu nilojiwekea. Nikamate wahalifu, niwaondoe wachafu, nchi iwe nadhifu. Sitampiga mtu mwenye hatia, na wote wenye viburi watafuata sheria. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Nikiwa usingizini, wakati nipo ndotoni, najiona mimi nipo hewani, na kweli sio utani. Mwalimu ninaamini, ndoto yangu mimi kuwa rubani, nisafirishe insani ndani na nje nchini, wakisafiri kwa amani, acha nilipa manani. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Mimi nataka kuwa mwanasheria, wanaodhulumiwa kuwasaidia, hukumu nitatoa kwa usawia. sitahitaji rushwa kwa kuhofia. Mungu wangu, mtume wangu, dini yangu yakatazia. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mwandishi wa habari TV na redio, kwangu ndo kazi nzuri ipo moyoni. Nazisambaza habari mijini na vijijini, najuza yaliyojiri nje na ndani. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, wote hao wategemea kuwa wakubwa, mabosi, kukaa ofisini, kucheka na kujiachia. Ndoto zao za mbeleni, kazi za kifahari watakutajia. Wanadharau shambani, vyakula kujilimia. Mwalimu nakwambia, mimi mkulima, nitaisaidia jamii daima. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
Ukweli wanafunzi mefurahia kwa kazi nzuri mulochagua, na waombea kwa Allah kuwajalia malengo yenu kuyafikia.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
Nasheeds. I love nasheeds. I enjoy nasheeds. They are awesome. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I really love the kids saying the nasheed. Today we are discussing about peer pressure, and peer pressure is giving in to the demands of the people around you, giving in to the demands of the society. We've discussed two types of peer pressure, the verbal and the non-verbal peer pressure, and the positive and the negative peer pressure. For now, let's go for a very short break, but when we come back, we'll discuss about the direct and the indirect peer pressure.